Hi guys, and welcome back to another Dots Race video, and today we're going to be playing MotoGP 21, continuing on with our Moto 2 career mode. We are here now for round 3 in the Circuit of the Americas GP. So here is Grant, the runner-up last time out in Argentina, a absolutely bizarre race that just was, wow, it just didn't end, everything was just so absolutely utter insane. But we have a lot to look forward to now, because this is the Circuit of the Americas GP, and I know I have quite a lot of American followers, so shout out to all you people across the water and living in your wonderful country with this amazing track. This is an absolutely brilliant track. I do recall this coming out in 2013, Marquez winning the very first and won pretty much every other single one until Alex Rins beat Valentino Rossi just a couple of years ago. Now, the Circuit of the Americas, when this first originally came out in 2013, it came in the MotoGP 13 video game. And I do recall literally everybody playing it. Every single time you go online, someone would pick the Circuit of the Americas. And it kind of bugs me after a while, like it was doing my head in because I played it so much. But now, I absolutely adore it. I think it's a fantastic track. We had a great time here in Moto 3 just last season. Hopefully, we can have a bit of a better result, because of course the Moto3 race did end with me taking a long lap penalty, and I do believe we just finished off the podium due to the long lap penalty. It was right at the death as well. On the penultimate lap is where we suffered the track limits warning and fell foul to the long lap penalty. And shout out to another American, actually Cameron Beaubier ahead of us. He's of course on the Tenor American Racing Calex, as we now go onto the right hand side of the tyre for turn 13. I tell you what though, this track is very, very bumpy. Now when we were here in Moto 3, I didn't really notice the bumps as much. We were sort of able to brace ourselves for some of them and sort of just ride the storm, if you will. But here in Moto 2, I'm finding it, oh goodness me, it is extremely bumpy, especially the right-hander there for turn 17. Turn 18 has a bit of a crazy bump as well. See that little dip on the exit of turn 18, now into turn 19 for the left-hand side of the tyre. And then we'll be going on the left-hand side once again for turn 20. And this is going to be our very first lap here in Moto 2 currently, as things stand. And across the line we will go in a moment's time. Is this going to be enough for top position? And you bet it is. A 2:11.575 for the Moto 3 World Champion. So Marco Bezzecchi has been dethroned. He's now pushed down to second place. Augusto Fernandez currently in third, with Xavi Vierge, teammate of Grant's and Jake Dixon's, of course. Not sure where Jake Dixon is right now. I'd like to see him back up there and fighting for some podium positions, or even, at the very least, in the top 3 practice sessions. I do feel, unlike last season where we were with the Husqvarna team and Romano Fenati on Husqvarna in general, and Adrian Fernandez as well, their performance just wasn't quite good enough to keep up with Grant. Hopefully Xavi Vierge and Dixon can sort of assist Grant this year, and we can sort of battle and fight for the team championship. It would be a nice change to actually win the team championship as well as winning the everything else, but hopefully the Riders' Championship too. So on the exit of turn 10, goodness me, we got very close to touching the green there. That would have been, of course, an invalidated lap. But we were on the rumble strip and we sort of rode it to fruition, and now we are right on the rear of Cameron Beaubier, utilising power setting 3 and getting a slipstream from Cameron ahead. That is going to give us a nice chunky lap time to contend with, or at least to push in there, because I do believe that these lap times are going to come in thick and fast very, very soon. But breaking in nice and gentle for turn 12 as Cameron Beaubier gets a little bit out of shape there. We'll get onto the rear of the American and begin to use his slipstream for the next couple of corners. See his line, see which positions he takes. Ooh, that was very tight. We almost invalidated the lap there. We're going to have to make sure that we don't do that again. But still on the coattails of Cameron Beaubier, he's done a great job of helping me out. Maybe he's a subscriber, maybe one day, who knows. But 0.2 of a second up to our previous lap time, which Hector Gartho has now got himself a bit of second place. Keep an eye out for Marco Bezzecchi's lap time as well, as he is currently on a fast sector 1, and as I've just said that, seems to be a bit slower into the second sector. Now Cameron Beaubier is actually on a decent lap here. He's had 2 white sectors, which of course are not improvements, and the third sector, he's got a bit of an improvement going, so Cameron Beaubier could very well find himself further up the field. Let's see how he gets on as he crosses the line. He goes up to second place. Great job for the American as Grant improves his lap time once again. So a quick look at the timing screen. Sam Lowe's fastest man so far in America, with Remy Gardner and Grant only 0.2 of a second behind the fellow British rider. We now move on to qualifying right here in the Circuit of the Americas, and I tell you what, I have a good feeling of a potential pole position here. It could be our very first pole in Moto 2. Marcel Schrotter, Jorge Navarro, Ben Schneider and Jake Dixon all join the riders up into Q2. So here we go, qualifying 2-time, another successful free practice from Grant, surviving the battle to get into Q2 automatically, and we have done it once again. Now going into turn 1, we will be utilising power setting 3 of course, because why else wouldn't we? We need to be going the quickest we possibly can. Now I do feel that we might have to improve the bike this season. I didn't improve the bike once for Moto 3, but I am considering that we might have to actually improve things, such as a bit of the handling, and maybe just give us a bit more on the reducing of the tyre life, etc. Because the soft option front really struggles, especially the first time out in Qatar, which really struggled. I mean, it lasted the duration of the race, but towards the end, we were really struggling to fight with Raul Fernandez and Fabio Di Giannantonio. But into turn 9, pretty smoothly so far. Turn 10, difficult corner to navigate, and looks like we did a brilliant job there. The bike was quite stable going into that difficult left-hander. Now braking into turn 11, a little bit out of shape, a little bit too wide for my liking. Probably could do with just bringing on the brake a little bit earlier, just applying it just that few more tenths earlier. We'll be absolutely fine. But 0.6 of a second down to Celestino Vietti's time. Not ideal as things stand, but we are charging now. Underneath the Red Bull sign we go. And now into the very difficult left-hander of turn 12 as Grant gets a little bit out of shape there. The bike bucking and weaving, doing endos and stoppies. A little bit too much pressure on the front brake was applied there as we go into turn 13. Still a little bit out of shape. These bumps are really killing me. These bumps are just quite ridiculous. Oh, and another big bump. You have to avoid these bumps, otherwise you will be going down and the calyx will be picked out of the gravel with probably a lot less paintwork on it. Now onto the right-hand side of the tyre for turn 16. Nice tight apex. Oh, massive moment! The Moto 3 World Champion is down! Unbelievable scenes coming 7 minutes ago in turn 17. Grant is back on the calyx. The calyx has been repaired, and now it is time to do battle once again in this qualifying session and try and tame the beast here in the Circuit of the Americas. Difficult track. We mentioned the bumps earlier on, and the bumps have caught us out once again. Super difficult corner to navigate. You have to go wider there. You've just seen the results of what happens when you take a tight apex, dropping into the bump. The rear wheel tried to grip. It once gripped and then absolutely launched Grant into the air. The British rider was a sitting duck, or at least a flying duck at that point. Very scary stuff for the Moto 3 World Champion. But we're still on board the motorcycle. We still have 2 minutes of this session remain. So as far as I'm concerned, we should be able to get at least 2 more laps in. It's going to be 1 lap, and of course another one's going to be very pressurised. Fabio Di Giannantonio, Gardner, Grant, Baldassari, Ayagora, all men on personal sectors right now. Chuck in a few red sectors for Di Giannantonio, Gardner, Baldassari and Agora. Grant, not so much. It's another personal best for him, but only 55 thousandths of a second down to Sam Lowe's 2:10.081. We do have the difficult turn 12 to navigate now, so here we go. On the anchors right now for the left-hander, braking very gently and methodically just for this particular corner. I do find it's a very difficult corner to get right, and after getting taken out there in a live stream a couple of weeks ago, I'm still a little bit tentative in that particular corner. Stay vigilant into turn 14 because there's a couple of bumps. You can see the bike getting out of shape. Still not settled going into turn 15. We're going to have to work very hard on the front-end feeling of this motorcycle. That's the reason why I've been using the soft option tyre quite a lot, because it gives me the most feeling, but goodness me, it degrades too quickly, especially like we've seen in Qatar. But now into sliding the rear and getting out of shape on the bumps. We go into turn 19, currently in 16th place. I don't think this is going to be much of an improvement, if an improvement at all. But onto the left-hand side of the tyre, we go into turn 20, coming across the line. Across the line we go, 2 minute 10.972 is best for 8th place. I guess that's damage limitations. I'll very much accept that right now as we go into the left-hander of turn 1, another difficult left-hander. Most of the corners in this circuit are all difficult left-handers. The rest aren't too bad. The right-hand turns are pretty much okay, but the left-handers are usually quite brutal in the Circuit of the Americas. Now onto the left-hand side for turn 3. Turn 4 to navigate nice and gentle into turn 4 there. Turn 5 on the change of direction, beautifully navigated by the British rider. Onto the right-hand side for turn 6. Nice tight apex there. We'll square the motorcycle off and then chuck it into the left-hand side for turn 7. Another beautifully tight apex. Flick it once again to the right for turn 8. As the bike leans up, chuck it to the left for turn 9. This is a good lap so far. It looks clean, but the actual progression is not massive. But Sam Lowes did set a pretty unbeatable time right now. But going into the difficult left-hander of turn 11, nice tight apex on the exit. Straighten the motorcycle up, line it up, and then fire it out. And I tell you what, I am surprised to see that we are down by 0.2 of a second, almost 0.3 of a second to Sam Lowes' time. Marco Bezzecchi looking for another pole position. He's in second place right now with an orange sector in the second sector. Raul Fernandez, the same for him. Ben Schneider, very much the same. Raul Fernandez has just ended the lap somehow. Don't know what happened to him, but we're up by half a second now. Coming into the difficult right-hander, turn 13. Nice tight apex. Oh, losing the front just a little bit. Turn 14 once again. Turn 15 as well, losing the front all the time. The front is warm, very, very warm. Hotter than a summer day in England. Onto the right-hand side for turn 16. Keep away from the tight apex because that didn't work out. Oh! Qualifying over for Grant. Another difficult qualifying session ended. So Sam Lowes will take pole position from Raul Fernandez and Marco Bezzecchi, both men setting the same time of a 2:10.115. Unfortunately, Grant did not crack the top 9 and will not be featured on this front page. But guys, upon that note, thank you very much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, like, comment and subscribe. Hit the notification bell to be alerted to every single Dot Race upload, and see you tonight at 8 PM for the Grand Prix. Thanks for watching guys, and ciao for now. Oh hi, didn't quite see you there. Good to see you're still here. If this video didn't quite set your appetite, then why not watch some more Dot Race content by clicking the video shown on screen now. Furthermore, if you would like to follow me on social media, you can do so now with the links down in the description. Consider subscribing so you don't miss a single Dot Race video.